Hello everyone and welcome back to the F1 2019 Career Mode series here for the penultimate race around the Brazilian Grand Prix, and we have got two messages. We have the weekend preview, which is nothing particularly special, and then we have the weather forecast, which is mostly clear with a little bit of cloud at times but not too bad. And then if we go here, power unit wise we should be fine. We have a fresh turbo, well, fresher turbo here if we need to, so we should be fine for that. Everything's fine power unit wise, and as you can see here, Red Bull did bring a few improvements to this Grand Prix. If I look at the progress history here, you can see that they actually went up quite a bit to get back up to where Ferrari are, so they're now tied with Ferrari. Renault also made a massive jump, and they're basically now tied with us. So we're going to be more fighting Renault in this race, I think, more than anyone else. As you can see, everyone's started to catch up to Mercedes. They haven't really bought any upgrades recently, so we'll see if that changed anything or not. But as you see, we're the fourth fastest team. Once we bring this upgrade, then we should be back up to the third fastest team or thereabouts. But other than that, let's go on into qualifying. Here we are in qualifying. We've got our first lap going on. Here, very solid through turn 1, and it takes much curve as you need through turn 2 to get a good run all the way down through turn 3, and now a small DRS straight here to a fairly simple corner, really, left-hander, which we actually ran a little bit wide through, but we still focused and got a fairly solid exit, and now to the left hand side. Now this is very tricky corner, this quite easily lose the back end with a double right-hander here. Try and push as much as you dare, but easily lose the back end, as you can see there. And now heavy braking down there, and now this is also easy to lose the back end once you get the power down. Here, it's not too bad on this year's game, but certainly has been in the past. Now chuck on the brakes through there, and now over and out, flat out to the left hand side, and now heavy on the brakes for focus on a good exit down the straight. Always want to focus on staying to the left hand side here. In the race not so much, but in qualifying stick as far left as you can because it is the quicker line. As here we go to the left hand side, crossing the line. It's a 109.9. hopefully that'll be enough to see us through, as we will see. As there it is, that is the timings. We were 11th fastest, so we comfortably made it through, and I will see you in Q2. Here we are, we've already set our lap time. We are in 10th, so we'll probably do an improvement because this track seems to be improving all the time. As you can see, Kvyat is quicker. I don't know if that's a glitch or what, but it's just that Hulkenberg is the quickest car on the track right now, which is crazy. The fact that Renault is the quickest car, but you know, as we go left, we're slightly green at this point. It hasn't been the best lap in the world. We could do have improved a little bit more than this, but we're okay. As go through a double right-hander as well. We're taking this a little bit easier than we did in Q1, just to focus on a really good exit more than anything. And now this has been a much more solid second sector than the last levels. We did run onto the curb a little bit there, that would have lost us a bit of time, but that was very good on the brakes. It looks like this is going to be an improvement, but I don't think we have to improve. I think we'll probably be fine to get through it. Oh no, we need to improve now. Perez has just jumped us into P10, so we have to have a small improvement, but we should be fine. So we're going to improve by a couple of attempts. As here we go, stick to the left hand side, now over the line, good enough for P8. There we go. I don't think our teammate made it out, but we did. We're into P8. I don't actually think that our teammate did make it out. Let's have a look. No, he did. He was in 12th actually, because obviously we knocked him down a bit, so that's a shame for him, but we made it through, so that's all that matters, and I will see you then. Forgot to mention as well, you saw the lap time of the Renaults. That was crazy how they were so quick. As here in Q3, it's actually been a very good turn 1 and turn 2. Now turn 3 is good. We only just made the line actually. We didn't set a lap because obviously that would have been on used tyres, but we only just made the line here at the end of qualifying, but at least we did. And it's been a very, very solid lap so far. Get the power down. Very happy with that. As to the double right-hander here. Very happy that Bottas sets the quickest lap time so far, so he's on provisional pole, which is very good for him because he has to win this race and hope Hamilton comes quite a long way back, or else Hamilton will be the Drivers' Championship, I think. because he has about a 30 odd point lead. And at the moment, obviously, Hirat wants to close that, or else he will come in second. As this has actually been a very, very good lap here. Hopefully it can get us into a very, very good position for qualifying. Here we go. Open up the DRS to the left hand side. Hamilton steals pole. Hamilton's going to be on pole then as we go to the left hand side, and it's good enough for P7. That's actually a really good result. P7, you can't ask for too much more than that. So I'm really happy with that, and I will see you in the race.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Hamilton, Bottas and Max Verstappen. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo José Carlos Pache. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Let's begin by talking about Antonio Giovinazzi. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel, Iceman, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Perez and Carlos Sainz, Raikkonen, Gasly, Lando Norris and Grosjean, Albon, Stroll, George Russell and Robert Kubica. Giovinazzi, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, watch out at the race start. There will be faster cars trying to get past. See if you can hold them off.
Alright, here we are in the race then, so we have a standard amount of fuel in the car, and I think the default strategy will probably be the best one, because then we can change it if we need to, as I always say, and softs to hards is definitely the best strategy, so let's go on into the race. Here we go then, 5 lights in front of us here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and we are underway. Here we've actually had a very, very nice start. Vettel tried to cover us off, but he couldn't, as we're going to be side by side with him into the turn 1. Here we are, I think, going to get past him, and we have to give him plenty of space if he's doing. Run all over the track here. We did get past him as he ran off the track, and Verstappen's actually been compromised by Leclerc for his exit, as we could get him as well here with side by side. It should be a simple move, go later on the brakes, and there it is. That is a phenomenal start, up into 4th. Already from 6th to 4th. Definitely the best start I've had in this series. Now on to lap 3 then. So we have quite a big gap to Leclerc in front. We couldn't really catch him. He's been going too quick. And the gap behind us is about, well, we're lapping at about the same speed. So he's just staying behind us. He's not really overtaken us yet. But obviously DRS is now enabled on lap 3. So we'll see if anything in particular happens then. Now on to lap 5. You can see we've got DRS just about off of Leclerc. As Verstappen might have a look at it here, but I think we've got him covered off, which we do. We go late on the brakes to make sure he can't do it. That's compromised us down here, but we did get a good exit. We focus on a good exit down the straight. That should be able to hold off Verstappen for the time being. We get all, oh, that's a terrible exit. We got stuck on the curb in a way. Now Verstappen to our inside. We're going to try and hold it around the outside, which we could do with ease. Get a good exit, and we hold P4 for the time being. Now all the way on to lap 9, we've still got Verstappen behind us. He's still there, but we should be fine here as he moves to the left and the side. We're going to try and defend it to the outside again. We can do it with relative ease as we're going to stay in P4. Now 1 lap later we come in for our stop here, our only pit stop in the race, 3 laps earlier than the strategy said, but that's fine because they're hard tyres, 3 laps shouldn't make too much of a difference. As nice stop for the McLaren guys, pretty much 2 seconds exact. Let's come out of the pits, we're going to be in 18th, just in front of the 2 Williams cars, and yeah, should be fine to come out of the pits in P18 and hopefully close up to Giovinazzi, because that would mean we're going quick. As here we go then, Verstappen has closed up. Well, Verstappen actually jumped us in the pits here, which is not very good for us, but as you see, Alex Albon retired from the race. That Red Bull car is not good, so he keeps on retiring. As yeah, so Verstappen jumps us in the pits, which is not good, but he's going to get held up by Giovinazzi, and everyone's now starting to pile into the pits. As this is a time roughly that I would be pitting laps 13 to 15, but obviously we came in a little bit earlier, as we're now going up and up and up and now back into the points. Now on to lap 15 here. As you can see, we're going to have ourselves actually go around the outside here of the Red Bull car of Verstappen here. We didn't really expect to, it's just everyone went really early on the brakes. We managed to find a way to sweep around the outside, as there's actually going to be 2 cars because Giovinazzi could have come into the pits as well. Here we go at the middle of lap 16, we're right behind Stroll here. I'm actually going to go for it up the inside. I don't think Stroll saw us coming, he actually pushes us off the track here to the inside, as we should have the move done, as we're still side by side, get a good exit. And there we go, us up into 5th with another car to come into the pits. Now on to lap 18, so we're in P4. Perez has come out of nowhere out the pits. He was on the medium tyres and he's down in 5th. I don't know what he did, but he's somehow managed to jump loads of the cars and he's fighting away. Well, he's going to be fighting away with Verstappen and Vettel probably, so it's going to be good for us. Hopefully we'll build a good gap, because we managed to get in front of that pack, which is going to mean that we're going to hold P4 for now. On to lap 20, as you can see, they're battling away. Vettel's now going in front of him. Perez overtakes him again here, as we have a 4-second gap. Vettel re-overtakes him, and this should be good for us now. Now on to lap 22, as you can see, Bottas has just come out of the pits in front, so he was leading, but he's pitted again, which is not good for him, because obviously he has to win this race. Now Hamilton leads the race and probably will be driver's champion as the way things stand, which is definitely not what he wanted. As Bottas now in P3, but will probably overtake Leclerc, he's in a quicker car on the quicker tyres, so he shouldn't have an issue with that. As we stay P4 with Vettel fighting everyone behind, and hopefully we'll be able to hold on to this. On to lap 25, I will probably stick towards the end of this Grand Prix because we have a massive gap behind us, so we should be absolutely fine. We're not catching the car ahead, it's just what he says. But yeah, so we've got a big gap behind, so we should be fine to keep this. Now, as I said, on to the final lap of the race. Vettel actually had an engine problem which compromised him, and he then went a long way back. He's now down into 10th, which is not good for him. Whereas Verstappen's about 1.9 seconds behind us. He did gain on us a lot, but we're still comfortably in front of him. These tyres are quite badly worn now, so it's a bit of an issue, but we're okay. We're going to cross the line. Lewis Hamilton has won the Grand Prix. Now that means he's going to be world champion for this season. He can't be caught for the final race. So Hamilton is world champion, as we're going to be coming over a phenomenal P4 from P6 off the line, because obviously grid penalties. As here we go, crossing over the line, P4 here in Brazil.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So, let's review the drivers' standings. This also means that there's no catching our leader anymore and we crown a new World Drivers' Champion. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I mean, can it be anyone else other than Danny Kvyat? His performance today really set him apart from the other drivers out there. He's got to be happy with how he's done here this weekend.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So there we go, and that is the Brazilian Grand Prix done. We've got one more race to go in Abu Dhabi. We've got 1,300 resource points, which are going to be used to...
What do you think of this one?
Just adapt all of these parts that I have to adapt. I should have enough for it, so not too much of an issue there. Oh no, we haven't quite got enough to do this one, but that's alright, because we'll have enough to do these two next race, which is obviously perfect, because we have to at least get them done for the end of the season. Because we got this one that we're adapting, has to be done, and then this one obviously has to be done, so that'll be that. Yep, so Lewis Hamilton won the Drivers' Championship. He's about 38 points clear. Obviously you can only get 26 points is the maximum you could get on someone if he retires and you win the race and get the fastest lap, so he cannot do it. If we look at the... here we are then. So as far as we go, just as long as we end up in the points, I'm pretty sure then we are going to take 5th in the Constructors, which is phenomenal. We probably will be able to do that. We just need to take 5th. Well, no, we just need to pretty much get like 8th or better and hope Verstappen doesn't win the race. Then we should be fine. And as far as the Constructors go, just as long as me and Carlos finish somewhat in the points, then we should come 3rd in the Constructors. So that is very good there. My season results so far, if you want to have a look at them. But yeah, other than that, that is the end of the episode. So if you guys have enjoyed, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more content if you haven't already done so. And then make sure to join me for the penultimate race, and I will see you then.